Turki Usyk has named more fights that he wants to make in the future. Dream fights is what he calls them. And the weirdest thing, like, let's say weirdest, the craziest thing about Turki is that when he mentions these fights, you look and think, well, yeah, at least for the most part. You know, there's been some where you've looked or you've certainly heard about, and you've been like, really? Because of the weights, you know, some of them you've been like, just what the hell? Like, you do realise weight divisions are there. But these ones he's named here, I mean, there's one here that really jumps out at you. And it jumps out at you because how intriguing it would be. I don't think it will happen, but if it did, I mean, damn. And for this fighter in particular, this is high praise that he's even being mentioned this soon in his career by Turki. Obviously, he's fought on a few of Turki's cards, but to be named in one of his dream fights, I mean, that's big stuff for this young prospect. So let's talk in no order. The dream fights Turki said he wants to see in the future. One of them is Naoya Inoue versus Nick Ball. I'd love to see that fight. Inoue, you know, I still have to laugh, you know, that Inoue he has fought in America 3 times as far as I'm aware. Yeah, he's fought there at least 3 times. And you still have people saying that, and he's fought in Glasgow in the UK, up in Scotland. And it wasn't Glasgow, wasn't it, when he fought on Josh Taylor's undercard? Pretty sure it was in Glasgow, not Edinburgh. But nevertheless, he's fought in the UK, he's fought in the US, and you still have many American fans saying, oh, Inoue has to come to America. He has to fight Tank Davis. And he doesn't have to do any of that. He's fought in America before. Tank Davis is a lightweight. Tank Davis is fighting... No, he's already fought Frank Martin. Who is he fighting now? I can't even remember. Lamont Roach. That's who Tank Davis is fighting. Tank Davis is an idiot. He's an absolute idiot. And the rumour mill is that PBC are going to be dropped by Amazon because they haven't done enough pay-per-views. Shock horror. When you've hardly any fighters, they're all behaving like absolute divas and they're fighting, if even once a year. It's going to struggle to hit those pay-per-view, you know, targets, aren't you? So no sympathy there. No sympathy there whatsoever. PBC are a flipping joke. They have some good fights coming up this year in terms of Dave Morrell versus Benavidez, but for the most part, PBC, it's a joke. It's a joke of an organisation, how it's being ran and the way the fighters are behaving. Some of them, anyway, Tank Davis in particular. Good Lord. He wants to see Turki, Naoya Inoue versus Nick Ball. A much, much better fight. A much more reasonable fight. Inoue is a 122 pounder. He's undisputed champion. Nick Ball really should be unified champion at 126 pounds. He's a world title defence in Liverpool on Paddy's weekend. St. Paddy's Day, Paddy's weekend. That's going to be an intriguing fight. Well, it's not really going to be an intriguing fight against TJ Dehenny. But should he win, there's big fights on the horizon. And I'd love to see Inoue versus Ball. I think it'd be a great scrap. I'd make Inoue firm favourite. But him up at featherweight, it's crazy. He'd be coming up in weight, but he'd still be at least a taller guy. Nick Ball for a featherweight is 5'2". People featherweights, like a short featherweight is like... Carl Frampton was 5'3" and he was considered very short. Nick Ball's even shorter. You know, very small man, Nick Ball, but goddamn, he fights. He can fight. The one thing I would say is Nick Ball going in there against Inoue, he is open. You can question how hard does he actually hit. I say he's reasonable power there for a featherweight, but he's not got anything. I would say Lewis Neary is a bigger puncher, personally, just from what I've seen in terms of their respective careers. I'd say Lewis Neary is a bigger puncher than Nick Ball. And against Inoue, he's so accurate. He hits so hard. His footwork is so good. You always see it when he fights his opponents. The punch output of his opponents just drops. It just drops. So it will be a real intriguing fight just from a styles point of view. Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. Yeah, look, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. We know Turki still wants to do that fight. He said he's going to reach out to Tyson Fury. We've heard a lot of rumours. There's been some rumours of Tyson Fury asking for 500 mil to face Anthony Joshua. Now, look, I haven't seen any of that. I haven't seen Tyson Fury do that, and I think I've even seen TalkSports, and you know, I say we don't want to say about TalkSport, but even say like it is rumour. I think Turki's even said it, so I'm not going to go in and say, oh, Fury priced himself out. Well, we haven't heard it from the horse's mouth, so I'm not going to even say that. It does look like just a rumour. as far as we know, he is retired, but expect that to be a negotiation tactic. I think it is. And I wouldn't be surprised if Fury is back, or at least training in the summer saying, I'm back. Joshua, you ducked me, or you know the way Fury is. Fury and his fanboys are so Fury is so disingenuous. His fans are just dumb. That Fury could turn around and retire, then come back and say I've retired, but the only reason I'm coming back is because Anthony Joshua ducked me in 2025. And his fans would still believe that, Joshua clearly ducked Tyson. That's what you're dealing with. But Tyson Fury versus Joshua, yeah. I mean, he's mentioned Joshua versus Wilder. I think Fury Joshua is Turkey's preference. It's the biggest paying fight for both guys. And really, any fight Joshua makes, or they make with Joshua, Fury is going to be the biggest payday. If they did Bacoli in Africa, it'd do well. But you'd have to pay Joshua a king's ransom. You'd have to probably pay him as Fury, a purse that he'd get in the Tyson Fury fight to go through with that fight, because I think Team Joshua will know, holy crap, how do we win this? But Fury is a more winnable fight, definitely. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. I think I might have even seen some quote from Terence Crawford as well, actually, or certainly some indications that there's a bit of movement with Terence Crawford. Where is it? I don't see it on the. I'm pretty sure I did see that though. So Terence Crawford, we know Terence Crawford. He's got one foot out the door, but for the Canelo fight, he'll bring his A game. There's no doubt about that. That is the only fight that Crawford seems to want. And look, I think it's more of it. Look, Crawford is an incredible fighter. I mean, he really is one of the greatest to ever do it. He is phenomenal. He's been at this game, 17 years? I think he turned pro. In 2008. So he's been at this a long time. He's coming up into his late 30s now. He is older than Canelo. And I think the weight jump will be too big. But you look at Canelo and you think, well, what's he going to do? Fight William Skull? He vacated the IBF title because that wasn't a big enough fight. Now it is. There's no one there at 168 anymore. It's very thin on the surface. He cleaned it up in 21. And, well, who do you really fight? Like, Benavidez and Morel are fighting at 175. You could go up there, but you want to stay at 168. Well, like, what else is there? So for Canelo, it's probably looking at Crawford and thinking, you know what, Canelo always gets big paydays, but I'll probably get an even bigger payday against a blown up welterweight, because Crawford didn't look that big at 154 pounds against Madrimov. So you'd make Canelo firm favourite. In terms of who is the better, in terms of their skill range, just overall who is better, just as a whole, Crawford. Crawford, in my opinion, is a better fighter than Canelo. As a whole, he's more of a total package than Canelo. That doesn't mean Canelo's bad. Canelo, if Canelo was your kind of blueprint for a fighter, you'd have a damn good fighter. But weight divisions in boxing are there for a reason. The heavyweight division is one thing. But these weights, super middle, light heavy, middleweight, etc., they're there for a reason. And, I don't see Crawford winning that fight. I think the weight difference will be just too big. Certainly on fight night. And the final fight that Turki Usyk wants to make in the future, sometime in the near future, you would imagine, is Oleksandr Usyk. Oleksandr Usyk against Daniel Dubois? No. Oleksandr Usyk versus Moses Itauma. Yes, Moses Itauma. Turki Usyk wants to see him in there with Oleksandr Usyk sometime in the future. Happy birthday to Oleksandr Usyk as well. Might I add, it's his birthday today. He's 39 years old. Same birthday as Muhammad Ali. So, that's crazy. That he'd like to do. That obviously shows how highly he thinks of Moses Itauma, because he's fought on enough of Turkey's undercards. Turkey's seen him enough times. I think they're kind of like dispensing with this whole Mike Tyson. They're not going to get it unless they get a vacant title like that, which is unlikely, unless Usyk just decides to vacate it and then go through with a Daniel Dubois fight. They're not going to get they're not going to just get a title out of the blue like that, or a title shot just out of the blue. So him against, or maybe, you never know, stranger things have happened, but him against Oleksandr Usyk. Listen, I think Itauma is not just a precocious talent. He really is that good. He really, genuinely, the first time I seen him was in the amateurs, and I just thought, oh my God, this kid, it's like it's like nothing. It's like twinkle toes in there with how well he's able to move, how quick his feet are, and how good he looks. He was only about, what, 16 at the time, 16, 17. And I just think he's gone from strength to strength. He's a confidence about him. Yes, there's questions there. How will he be when he gets hit on the chin? How will he react to adversity if he can't really get rid of a guy? And I'm not talking about a guy being negative. I mean like a guy who can take his shots and deliver something back. Yeah, there's questions there. But, I mean, I think he'll answer them. He's been sparring top fighters since he was 15 years old, taking his school uniform off to go and spar Lawrence Okolie and Daniel Dubois, and more than holding his own in those spars. So I think he'll be okay. That just shows the talent that this kid is. Him against Usyk, say it happened this year, I would make Usyk favourite. I wouldn't be picking Moses Itauma. But god damn, that just shows the talent he is and how highly he's seen by not just people like myself, people, from the outside looking in. I think people like Richie Woodhall have been and Richie Woodhall has a good eye for talent. He spoke very highly of him. Other people, even, Shane McGuigan, Lawrence Okolie, etc. Turki Al-Sheikh is even seeing that. He's even seeing that in him. So, a lot of good stuff there that he's saying about that. Well, Daniel Dubois too, I would imagine as well, but about Moses Itauma, wanting to see him in with Usyk this early in his career. I wouldn't put a penny on him winning the fight, to be honest with you. I wouldn't. But the fact that, I'm not saying that now, maybe even in 18 months, different story, but probably not now, no. But it would be amazing if they did. It really would. So they're the 4 fights that he's talking about, and they're all brilliant fights. And the amazing thing is, with Turkey, you look and you think, I could see these fights actually taking place and transpiring. Because of the guy he is, he just has a way. He's literally, I go back to the Ring Award show where you see all the fighters and promoters lined up and you just think, oh my God, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, there was beef, there was aggro, he can't do blah, 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 all this, gone. Because of Turki Al-Sheikh. Simple as. It's crazy. It's crazy how he's been able to do this in such a short amount of time. He's not even in the game 2 years yet. This time 2 years ago, we were all pulling our hair out trying to think, how are we going to get Usyk Fury? We've seen it twice now. And Matchroom Queensbury. Maybe Matchroom Golden Boy. We're seeing Beterbiev Bivol 2 with Dubois Joseph Parker as the co-main event. People, that just amazing. Honestly. And people saying, boxing's not... And I'm not talking about just the random any fan. People in who are watching boxing years. It's not that good. What? 2022 was better than this? Really? Do me a favour, as Frank Warren would say. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe, of course, as always, if you haven't already. And until next time, people, I will leave it there. Peace.